Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing the next week of Roxy's Weekly Challenge, which is week 14, and we're making our own stamps this week. So really well out of my comfort zone with this because I'm not very good at drawing. So I've been sitting and playing. I've got a little packed notebook here, and I've been playing with shapes and sitting and doodling and trying things out, some of which I think will be more successful than others. And I wasn't even sure if I had self-adhesive foam. I knew I had some foam, some craft foam, but it's quite thin and non-self-adhesive, and I wasn't sure if it would work. But as it happened, I did actually find quite a few sheets. They're very colourful. They're not the same as what Rachel was using, but they are self-adhesive sheets. You can tell because they've got the white sheet, the white paper on the back, so it makes it a lot easier to draw on. Yeah, and I've also got some card that I had in my box of packaging. So I'm just going to give it a go. I don't know how it's going to go. As I say, I'm really not very good at drawing, so I've tried to keep it to simple shapes. And I'm going to have kind of follow what I've played with and see how it works out. So I have got, the first idea I had was to do some interlocking rings, so I thought I'd just try drawing some circles. I'm going to try not to make it too small to start with, because cutting out small things is going to be quite challenging. And I'm not bothered about them being perfect circles as long as they're more or less the same size, which is it's a bit tricky, but right, let's try these. This one's a little bit small, isn't it? So I might just... No, did I get my rubber out? No, of course I didn't. I might make this one a little bit bigger to try and match. The other two look very similar size, but this one looks a bit smaller. So she does love to come up with some, really challenging ideas, but at the same time, really fun things to do. And I always enjoy her challenges, even when I'm struggling to follow what she does. But I think it's good to try new things. And I've never tried making my own stamps before. I'm a bit concerned that these are still not perhaps as thick, although I think they're thicker than the other ones I've got. These are self-adhesive ones. I think they'll be okay. Now, I'm going to cut out the middle by cutting through the ring, because I want them interlocking, so I need the little slit in them anyway, so I'm hoping that's going to work out okay. So I'm doing this on Easter Saturday. I really got into a role of doing some videos these last few days, so which is really been good, because I feel like I'm back on track now. And this will go up when I would have wanted it to, on the Wednesday after she posts the challenge. So this is, yes, week 14 we're on, that's right, yes. And it's another lovely day here in the UK, or at least my part of it. Although my husband can be sometimes the voice of doom, and he says, not going to last. But let's enjoy it while we can. So we had lunch in the garden today for the very first time since we've been here, which was really nice. We sat on a bit of quite sunny patio at the back of the garden. The back of the garden is the sunniest part because of the way it faces. It's sunnier at the back. So we sat there, and he's making lots of plans as to what he wants to do with the garden. It's definitely going to be a work in progress for probably some time to come. There's a lot of work to do out there, but it's beginning to take shape. in his mind. I'm not saying he's managed to do an awful lot out there because he's been so busy working on the house. But at least he's getting some ideas. He's been buying plants, putting a few things in here and there, and we're discovering the sort of things that are beginning to come back to life that were already there. So we're learning about the garden as well. We're learning where the sun will fall as it goes round, because we thought at first it was going to be quite a shady garden because it faces north, west or east, I'm not sure which. Yes, I'm hoping that will work. But actually now the sun's starting to shift round, I mean we're only in April, we found that the sun was actually covering quite a lot of the garden, so that's really a bonus. It's not going to be as shady as we feared. I think it's going to be pretty warm at times out there. So it means that it gives us a bit more option on what plants we put in if we know we've got sunshine. Now, I'm going to try don't want this gluing down quite yet. Let's pop that underneath for a second. Hold that up while I get the next one. I'm trying to do these interlocking. I don't know how that's going to work. Sometimes these things work in your head, don't they? But then when you can try and do it, it doesn't kind of work the way you hoped. Let's see. So if I just interlock that, oops, take that out of the way now. Overlap them. Stick this one down. They're sticking to each other, that's the trouble. I don't quite want it in that position yet. Okay, let's just try adding this one on and then sort of spreading them out. Now hopefully they'll stick. I don't know how this is going to look, but we will see. Right, let's take this piece off. Oop, missed a bit. In too much of a hurry to try this out. I'm going to make some of my other shapes a bit simpler, I think. I just thought, oh well, let's give this a go. Let's see. I want to pop that under there. Okay. Pull that over that way. That over that way. Maybe I haven't made these big enough, I'm not sure. It's a bit like some chain, isn't it? Interlocking chain. That's the idea, I think. Might be a bit bulky though to work as a stamp. That's the only trouble, because they're overlapping. So this may not work as a stamp, in which case I might just do it, have them next to each other. Haven't really thought about that. It's a bit too bulky, I reckon. It's not going to stamp very well, but I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work I'll do something similar, but having them next to each other. This is all very experimental and I have no idea what I'm doing. But you've got to try things, haven't you? If you have an idea. I don't think it's going to work, but just cut that off. Could have done it nearer the edge, but I didn't want to give myself enough room. Right, let's see if this is going to actually... Need to close this up. Right, who knows? I need a piece of paper, don't I? Oh, I've got this piece of cardstock to try it on. Get a nice green ink pad. Let's try it. Don't think it's going to work. That middle one is going to get lost, I think. Yeah, it's not picking up the ink. Let's see what sort of shape I get anyway, but then I'll do something slightly different in a second. Okay, what have I got? Yeah, something really weird that doesn't look like anything. Okay, I will have another go at that, but join them differently. I'll come back to it because that might get a bit zamey. So let's see, let's try one of the other shapes, something a little simpler this time. I've got lots of scraps of this, so I thought I'd use those. Now, what am I going to do? I really should have worked my way up to the more complicated shapes, shouldn't I, really? Okay, I'm going to make a tree. I'm going to do one of those stylized circle trees. Circle with a stem. I'll do one of those. And then I'm going to do a number 4. All right. Oh, well, let's try cutting these out, see how they look. But something blue. Might get away with it. Possibly the offcuts look better than the original. I'm not sure than the other piece. They might actually make a better stamp than this bit, but never mind. Let's give these a try. Because I think they're meant to be quite narrow. Let's get my piece of card. I think I better try stamping some of these, see how they look, mightn't I? My first attempt at an Egyptian hieroglyph. Can I take that off? Put it on the other way around. Might be better. They'll finish in the same direction. A bit better. I don't know if I should be adding extra glue to this. Probably I should, but I don't want to make life more complicated. Right, let's try this. Right, shall we have a go at seeing how some of these look? Then I'll have I'll have another go at doing the rings. So I'm going to use my cobalt blue for the water, I think. See if it actually looks anything like water. No, not really. I think I needed to make them much more defined, the ripples. So, oh well. Maybe the other pieces actually. I'll try doing something with the pieces that I've cut off. Maybe that would be the way to do it. They might have a better look to them, I don't know. I'll just finish off the ends a little bit better. Let's have a look. That one, and maybe this one. Maybe the two. I don't think one of the others. I'm just wondering, where'd it go? Where did I do with my stamp that I made? Can't find it. Oh, it is. Maybe just two well, I'll come back to that. I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, let's try out some of the others. I told you I couldn't draw. Now you know I'm right. Right, I'm trying this with the green. This one was a simpler shape. I'm hoping it looks okay. I need something to... Let's try this. Oops. Yeah, that's all right. A bit of something not quite right there, but I think that will be okay. I'm not quite sure how we're going to use these afterwards, but I think that one will be okay. I'm going to put that in my little box as a done one. And let's do number 4. See how that looks. I think I'm going to do some marking on the tree. That's what Rachel used. I don't know quite what she used, some sort of tool. I managed to make a mark. Yeah, that's come out good. Happy with my number 4. Right, let's see if I can find a tool that I can use. Got this sort of embossing tool with a little tiny ball on the end. I'm wondering if I can do some little... do some circles as though it's got blossom on it or something, or apples. Maybe it'll look like apples. Just doing little tiny circles. And then we'll do some lines down the trunk to make it look like bark. Don't know how that's going to come out. I don't know if it's indented it enough to show. It's not as sharp a tool as the one she was using. If it doesn't come out, I'll try finding something different. Probably something like a you know, the scoreboard, the tool that comes with your scoreboard, that might do it. It's got a kind of pointy bit. Let's try this. Okay, might be all right. Just a bit more ink on there. Okay, let's have a look. See how that stamps. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. Please how that's turned out. Okay, yep. Okay, that one I'm happy with that one. Right, let's have another go at doing these rings, shall we? Another one of my scrappy bits. Let's try drawing these again. So, don't have to be perfect circles. If you wanted perfect circles, you could use a circle punch, I suppose. But I think the whole idea is this looks hand-drawn. Now I wonder if it'd be easier to cut the middles out before because now I don't want them interlocking. I don't want the I don't want to cut through the rings. I'll use my little scissors to cut the middles out. Right, so I've got the 3 rings. Now I just need to find, so I could just put them in a row, or put them in a sort of a, oh, does that look like a scary face? Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? Looks a bit like a scary face going, ah! Oh, it still looks like a scary face. Oh, I don't know if I like that. I'm going to have to, no, anything where I makes it look like an eye and a mouth, 2 eyes and a mouth, I'm not keen on. So I'm going to have to put them in a row, otherwise it's just weird. Okay, I am going to just slightly flatten that edge, and so that they can properly butt up against each other. So I'm going to try and do. And then that edge is already a bit, no. Okay, one, and again just flatten that edge a little, because I think this already looks a bit flatter. Oh, I wonder about doing a little bit of marking on these, like Rachel did. It's come out quite well on my tree, didn't it? I might just do some little lines, or some, what shall I do? Shall I do more circles? Nope, on that side, don't I? Okay, let me just try doing marking it with some lines going across. Cross hatch it, but I think I'll just leave it like this. Might do something else in another shape. Right, let's try that. I'm going to do this one in blue. think those markings aren't quite deep enough. Might not show that well. I can always do them again. Probably should have cut this down a little bit, shouldn't I? Too late. Yeah, that's come out okay. There's still a gap here. I don't know why there's a gap there, because they're right up against each other on here. So I don't know why there's showing as a little gap between them, which is a shame. Okay, I might just try and make some of these marks a little deep. Okay. Right, anyway, that one's done. Let's get another piece of card. Right, I'm going to have a go at one of these hieroglyphs. I've done the water. There was 2 reeds, weren't there? The 2 reeds. Is that piece going to be big enough? It might be. They were awkward shape. I've had a go at drawing them on my pad. So I think I'm going to cut it to size so I know what I'm working with. I want to make it a little bit bigger, I think, so that's not quite enough. Okay, let's try these 2 reeds. And I mean, it is a very stylised reed, so it's not going to look like a real reed. Something like that. Let's try cutting it out and see what it looks like. Is that going to fit on here? Nope. Not a problem. Got plenty left. Let me just double check that the camera did come back on, wouldn't it? Yep. Because it always times itself out after 30 minutes and I just have to turn it back on again. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's actually come on. And that's straight. So if anybody does watch Only Connect, you can tell me if these hieroglyphs will get anything like the ones that you remember from the show. Because they look really weird to me. I mean, they look like the hieroglyphs on the show, but I don't know whether they're real hieroglyphs, whether they have any meaning. I just thought they made some interesting shapes. Right, that's that one. Shall I have a go at at the Eye of Horus? Scary stuff. Where's my bit of foam go? There it is. I'm going to try it. So you have an eye shape. Flick it up. And then it has a sort of flicky bit down here. And it has another bit going down here. And there's another bit up here, but I'm not sure how we might just have to make that a thicker piece of. I don't know how I'm going to mark that because there's nothing like it's like an eyebrow over the eye, but I don't know if I can actually do that on here. Maybe I just do that as a separate piece. Just have another little bit going over the top. Maybe that's the way to do it. I'm going to give that a try. I don't know how it's going to turn out cutting it out. But if you don't try, you never know, do you? Right, let's try putting this onto my card, and I'll mark the middle of the eye on here. Looks more like a jellyfish than an eye, I must admit. We'll see. Okay, like that. Then we'll get the little ball tool and go around. Try to be. I'll use the smaller end. Get a bit more better indentation then. Get the look of the eye, and then I've got the little bit to go over the top, which is the bit I cut. It goes over the top like that. Come on. Such a little piece, it's a bit fiddly. Right, whoop. That wasn't supposed to happen. Like that. I hope. Right, shall we try and stamp these? I'm going to use the blue for the eye, I think. I hope I've done it deep enough. See how this comes out. Okay. Wow. That's an interesting shape. Obviously I've marked it with my nail or something there because there's another little mark that's come out of the stamp. Done something a bit funky around here, but never mind. And then I'll do my 2 reeds in the green. And then we might try another number because the numbers are nice and easy. Where's it gone? There it is. Let's do the 2 reeds. I did intend to do leaves as well, but I think I'm running out of time, so I might do a few more off camera because Rachel has said we're going to be playing with these next week in the next challenge, so I may want some more recognisable shapes. I was just experimenting with these shapes today. Well, the 2 reeds have come out all right. I think they look like they're supposed to. It surprises me. So that one's okay. And the Eye of Horus is okay. Yeah, let's do one more and call it a day. And what shall I do? I'm going to do a number 9, which can also be used as number 6, I suppose. Is that big enough? How big was my 4? That's just about big enough. All right. Right, so there's my number 9. Let's do let's do number 9 in blue. See how it looks, and we'll call it a day. I think I might just keep going and do a few more. I'm just going to do some leaf shapes, I think, because this is lots of fun. I might do some more numbers and I might do some leaves. But there we are, number 9. A little bit funky around the top where I haven't cut it very well, but they're hand-cut stamps, so they shouldn't be perfect, should they? So I have got a little selection now. This one I did as a trial run before I started the kit. This was started off as a twisted flax, but I lost the little taily bits, so they didn't. I cut them off by mistake, so I just ended up with little twisted bits. But actually, that's quite a fun stamp as well. So that one's okay, and I'm just gonna make a few more, and then next week when she comes back and shows us what we can do with them, I'll have lots to play with, won't I? So thank you for joining me today. Hope this was somehow a bit of fun to watch. I don't know if it was. It was quite fun to do. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.